Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Mauricio Lastres, and today we're starting a brand new old series for MoTec and iRacing. So today's video is just purely an introduction into my new old series. Basically, I'm remaking my original MoTec Noob to Pro series because, well, a lot of time has gone by and I think I've definitely gotten a little bit better at making these videos. And I was pretty much not happy with the end result of the original series. The content was good, but unfortunately the resolution was a little low. Obviously the audio was not as good. So all in all, I think I'm a little bit disappointed with it, and I'm thinking about just remaking the whole series for you guys now that I know a little bit more about what you're looking for. We're gonna start out by definitely going through the same steps that we did the original time, how to find MoTec, how to use it on iRacing, where to download, the things that you need, and how to get going. From there, I'm not gonna spend too much time on navigating MoTec itself. We're going to learn while doing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start teaching you, and we're together going to build a basic MoTec workbook that we can apply to iRacing. Now MoTec is a really cool tool. It's data analysis software. What this does is it helps us analyze everything about the car, the driver, and other little things that we obviously are going to end up making use of. Now for iRacing, some of you may ask yourself, why do I need to use telemetry? It's too much work, or it's too hard, or fundamentally I'm quick enough and I don't need it. There's various reasons. First of all, obviously, because things are hard doesn't mean that they're not valuable. This is something that's a very valuable tool. It's not only for driver analysis. Most people will be surprised. Generally, most drivers think that they're doing great and that there's nothing that they can do to improve on. And then pretty soon after, they start blaming setup and other things. And then they start looking towards setup as to ways of looking for pace. That's usually a mistake, because the second that I look at anybody's data, I'll point out 5 different things that immediately stand out as like, this is just flat wrong. I don't know. I can't. Is it possible that maybe it works for you? Yeah, sure, but I mean, there's several telltales that no matter what, you can see this is potential pace being lost. So it's a driving analysis tool, yes. Can everybody use it? Yes. Can sometimes even a great driver be falling asleep at a certain corner and not getting the most out of it? It doesn't matter who you are, the answer is yes. So driving analysis, number 1. Number 2, setup. There are some things that you cannot do about setup without telemetry. One of which is suspension tuning. There's a lot of charts out there that I read sometimes that give you a table of what to do with dampers. And if you feel this going into the entry, oh, well then adjust this. And oh yeah, and then the high speed, if you can feel the bumps. I don't know how anybody can feel with the bumps. We're on a freaking simulator. Do you really have, your little motion sim rig? Is it really that good? It doesn't really matter. It's irrelevant. You cannot tune dampers with your little sheet. That is just a recipe. If you're trying to be self-aware and analyze, and you're making laps out there on iRacing, and you're saying, yeah, you know what, that felt a little bit bumpier than last time. Let me change the high-speed damping. Let me go up on the compression and a couple clicks down on the rebound. It's ridiculous. That is a recipe for completely out of whack damping. Then afterwards, somebody will look at it in telemetry and look at it and say, well, this is completely messed up. I mean, you've lost it. That's a recipe. That's a bad recipe. That's not going to get you anywhere near. You cannot tune dampers by feel. As a matter of fact, the dampers are just part of the whole suspension system that realistically can be tuned mathematically. That's why race cars today, with modern engineering techniques, show up at the racetrack, they unload, and they're pretty much good to go. What you're doing is you're tuning the car for the conditions of the moment, and you're chasing the moment, the amount of rubber on the track, the weather conditions. Those are things that you play around with, and little fine-tune adjustments. But you're not a mile away from where you need to be in ideal damping. You're right there. Why? Because ideal damping is a mathematical thing. There are functions that we do in control and dynamics that will tell us whether or not this is ideal damping or not. The damping has to be working in conjunction with the springs, with the tire pressures, with the anti-roll bars, and overall the chassis stiffness. All of those put together with the dampers will give a response for any kind of excitation on the wheel. And what you're trying to do is maximize grip. To a certain extent, to hell with balance and feel. What you're trying to do is maximize grip. I don't know anybody that doesn't want to take more grip. I'll take all the grip that I can get. Later on, what's important is balance. And ultimately, if I have to choose whether I want a whole lot of grip on the front or a little less grip but balance between front and rear, yeah, I'll take that. But grip, you want to get as much as you can get. And if you can get the most amount of grip front and rear, that's how you're going to get around the racetrack quickly. So you have to set the dampers with telemetry. If you're going by feel, well, I mean, good for you. But I don't know, I can't do it, so whatever. I just do it with telemetry. I can do it in 2 steps. I can go out there, do a baseline run, analyze it, and usually I can almost nail it in 1 change, but maybe it takes 2 changes and then it's nailed. So that's number 2. That's the second most important reason for why you want to use the data analysis, why you want to set up MoTec and work with that. Reason number 3 is an iRacing problem or a sim racing problem, which is hardware. We're all driving on different steering wheels and different pedals. There's 2 things that can happen. Either they can be crappy from the beginning, in which case that could be a telltale if the data doesn't look quite right. And also they can go bad over time, especially the pedals. So those will be little things that you can tell that will be an immediate signal to you, and you don't want to do extra races and spend extra time with a steering wheel or a set of pedals that are going bad. You're never going to notice it on the sim, especially if you're losing a little bit of resolution on your brake or on your throttle encoder. When you're driving, you can kind of tell with the little black boxes whether or not you're getting full throttle, but that might not be exactly the issue. Maybe you're not coming off all the way, or the worst is just very notchy response, and it's sticking and things of that nature. So for hardware and making sure that your steering wheel and your pedals are working well, you definitely want to use telemetry just as a backup. If you get suspicious and you don't use it regularly, but you get suspicious that maybe something's going on, you want to check it out, you want to have the data available. So those are the 3 most important reasons why you want to use data analysis. Another thing about downloading other workbooks and a lot of things that are out there is just that they're not that efficient. They cause what I call, or everybody calls, data overload. There's just too much going on. First of all, if you didn't make the workbook, that means that you don't really get how to use it. If it breaks on you because of certain updates or something changes in iRacing or Mu or MoTec, it breaks, you don't know how to fix it. Then you end up, after a year or 2, you're going to end up with a useless workbook where nothing works. And then the last problem would probably be just too much going on. Besides the data overload, like you don't actually efficiently know how to use it. You're going to be wasting too much time after sessions doing analysis where it's just going to turn you off. So the thing is that when we're using data analysis for iRacing, you're usually the one that's doing the analysis. Like, you don't have a professional engineer doing the analysis while you're out on track and right after to brief you after he's already looked it over and you had a drink, talked to a couple girls, and had your lunch. No, you have to do it yourself. So the thing is that it has to be efficient, and that's what we're looking for. So to alleviate these problems, first of all, you got to get rid of the excess data. If anything, what you want to do, you want to start out small. You want to start out too simple. That's okay. If you are starting to use the workbook, which we're going to make together, if you're starting to use it and then you notice, hey, I need to look at this particular piece of data, then you can add it. Only add it when you need it. It's bad when you start the other way around and try to anticipate what type of plots, graphs, displays you're going to need. You cannot do that. There's no way to anticipate what will and will not be useful. So what you want to do is start out simple. That's what we're going to do. We're going to make a basic workbook. That's the way that we avoid data overload. And we improve efficiency because we want to minimize the number of tabs and windows that we need to be opening and looking at. And then after that, we want to set a path where after a session, this is what I do. A, B, and C. These are the things I look at. This is the order that I do it in. And therefore, I get my return on my time. And then I can apply that to the race car to hopefully go faster, whether it be driving or setup. Now, I want to remind you guys, once we start this series, that later on, I'm going to actually be giving away this basic workbook that we're working on together. I'm going to release it for everyone to download for all iRacers, but it's gonna only happen once this channel reaches 1,400 subscribers. So there's two things that you can do. You can either follow along with me and learn MoTec and actually work on it yourself and build it with me, or if that's too much work for you, then your second option is to share this video, share the series, and see if you can help get more people to subscribe to the channel, in which case then I'll be releasing the workbooks much sooner, and then everybody's happy. That's a reminder, when we reach 1,400 subscribers, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna release the workbook. I am also going to be doing some fun prizes. We're basically going to randomly select some of the subscribers. There's going to be some additional prizes where I'm going to be giving away some data analysis sessions with me, and then some additional prizes, obviously Field Clothing. They are a partner of this channel. They are supporting this channel, and then they're also going to be giving away some stuff with me. Don't forget, subscribe to the channel, and then I'm going to take you on a road to go from a total novice using data analysis to being, I wouldn't say completely pro, but proficient. We're going to call it proficient. You're going to be able to use it and use it wisely. So let's get down to it. In the following video, I'm going to show you how to download, where to find everything that you need to get started on MoTec and get started into data analysis. Remember guys, subscribe, keep on watching the videos, and until next time, I'll see you on the racetrack.